Hey team, I hope you're all doing okay during this time. I wanted to reach out, and this is obviously going to be rough and ready because I'm in the car, but I just wanted to reach out and talk to you about how the 4Bs could help you to be really inspiring during this time. Because right now, you've got the opportunity to step up and be the leader that you've always wanted to be. Because people are really looking for, from their leaders, reassurance, hope, and clarity. And you can provide that using the 4Bs. And look, the thing I know is that you would have got your job as a leader because of your ability to get stuff done. And for many of you, your to-do list right now is going to be huge. But what you don't want to do is get caught up in the to-do list without a vision. Because if you do that, you're actually going to miss a great opportunity here to really get a lot of good things happening in your business for yourself and your people. So first thing I'm going to say is that first B of believing. This more than in any other time, and it's always been crucial, the research by Gallup in good times and even the stuff coming through them from them now says that people have to believe. They have to believe in a future. They have to believe, in good times we talk about them believing in their job, their company, and their leader. All of that still holds true, even if you've had to send people home and, you haven't got a business for them anymore. And I'll talk more about that in a moment. But what I want you to get is that now is the time for you to be holding out hope for people, because even those who've lost their jobs and, the governments, particularly here in Australia, are doing some great things to try and get money out to people. You need to get them thinking about what the future is going to look like for them. What jobs are they going to get? And so you need to have a vision of that too, because people are in one of four quadrants. They're either, if you look at it on a continuum like this, they're either down here feeling like, oh my God, the world is at an end, or they're up here somewhere which is saying, hey, this is a great opportunity to reset and look at the future. And on this end of the continuum, they're either somewhere along the end of, let's put everything on pause, let's just hold until things get back to normal. And there will be people up this end of the continuum who are saying, let's hit play. Let's get ourselves ready to roll now and into whatever our new future looks like. And for you to be an inspiring leader, you need to be in that top right-hand quadrant and bringing as many people with you as you can. So in terms of that first B of believing, what I want you to do with your people, and I wrote an article a long time ago about what to do in chaotic times, and I'll give you the link to that and you can go and read that some more. But one of the things that will be really important is that you send your people home. Don't let them just be sitting there in anxiety and worry and fret and all that down underneath the line sort of stuff. What I want you to do is to get them thinking about what it might look like in the future when they're going to apply for jobs. And what I mean by that is whether your business is going to look quite different in the future, or whether it is one that is maybe not going to exist. I mean, my business is certainly at high risk, may or may not come through this. I'm hoping it will, but, just hoping. So what I want you to do is get them thinking about, even while they're sitting at home, get them thinking about processes in the business that could make or save money for the company if it still was running as it was back in January, as an example. Because here's the thing, when people start going for interviews, and whether that's interviewing inside your company for, limited jobs that might be there, or interviewing externally, who is an employer going to hire? The person who sat at home anxious and worried and or just sitting there watching Netflix or whatever, or the person who said, look, my job was at risk and I didn't know if we'd ever be able to get there, but I started thinking about the things that didn't work well, and I found all these ideas, and here's these great ideas that I've got to help the company make or save money in the future, and here's one worth $750,000. Now, do you think that person's going to get a job offer, or the one who turns up and says, oh yeah, I'm great at customer service? If the first person's great at customer service and has got some ideas together on how to make or save the company money, I know which one I'd be hiring. So get your people working on projects and let them know that this isn't just for an empty exercise. It's something that they'll be able to use as part of their repertoire of skills that they can put in front of an employer. Now, so to support that, I've opened up the Mindset for a High Performance Employee training. I've opened that up to free, so you can give your people access to it. And in that training, what they discover is that they're in business for themselves anyway. So what do I mean by that? Well, the first thing I get people to do is write down who's the name of your employer. And most people will write down the company, when in fact their employer is themselves. They're self-employed. They just happen to sell their skills and their capabilities to an employer who is their customer, their number one and only customer. And as we're seeing with most of us, that's a bit of a dangerous proposition. But what I do in that training is I get them doing a whole bunch of exercises around thinking about how they can be far more superior as an employee, as a person in business for themselves, than if they were just going with an employee mindset. So they start to think like business owners. If you try to share that with people yourself at this time, you might get yourself in trouble. But me being a neutral third party, that training would be useful. And it gives them a whole bunch of exercises that they can do in order to think about their skill set and think about how they want to create their new work life. So really, recommend that you recommend that to your people and get them working on it. And you could even set up a little Zoom group, or I'm happy to do that if you want, but set up a little Zoom group where people can come together and talk about what they're learning and discovering through the program. So the next thing that I would suggest that you do is to in terms of that making and saving money, I just remembered, I'm going to extract a few pages from the Zodiac training program, which is a program we do on business acumen. I'm going to extract a few pages from that, and you can give that to your team members and say, hey, look, do these exercises. Whether we get back into business or not, it's going to be something useful for you to be able to talk to with prospective employers. Now, belonging. Normally, when we're talking about belonging, we're saying that this is about people feeling like that they've got their tribe, that they're cared for, that they're valued, their skills are valued, and that still all holds true. Again, even if your business is shut down or you've got people working from home, belonging's crucial. So you should be ringing and calling into those people most days, and even having virtual coffees, or like one of my clients said to me yesterday, her team leader said, with their morning catch up, I want to see a different pair of earrings on you every day. Something a little bit of fun, so keeping it a bit light. But people need that sense of community more than anything in this time of isolation, and they need to feel that somebody cares for them. Even if your business has just imploded, please do that for your people and do it for yourself, because you'll feel good. Come up with, and maybe I can brainstorm a few ideas, but a few activities that you can do, just be thinking about and when you're talking to them. So that's believing and belonging. In terms of behaving, that's where that mindset of a high-performance employee comes in, but also get them thinking, even if they're at home and, they've got no real work to do, again, get them thinking about the sorts of things that they can do to enhance their skills. Get them thinking about jumping on TED Talks, and maybe as a group of you could come together each day and talk on Zoom and talk about what you've learned on a TED Talk or something off my website. It doesn't really matter. Just find stuff that you're getting people thinking ahead and into the future, so that they're not just hunkering down and feeling sorry for themselves. And obviously the bottom line is you want people to be thinking about what the future could look like, to starting to describe a strong vision, starting to describe, look, this is a reset, whether we like it or not. Hopefully our planet is going to reset from it, the way we do business is going to reset from it, and that the way you lead and the way that your people interact with you is going to be different. This is a few rambling thoughts. I've probably got something a little bit more articulate I'll put on the website. But I hope that this is helpful. It's got you thinking, because you really do want to use those 4 Bs, believing, belonging, behaving, and bottom line, and really help your people to come through this time in their best possible way. Much love to you all. Go out and make that dent in the universe in any way that you can. Feel free to reach out to me. I'm doing a lot of free work at the moment. I'm trying to help people. I'm actually going to put a group coaching program on. I will charge for that, because like everybody else, I've still got to eat, but I'm also doing a lot of free work as well. So reach out as you want, and I look forward to connecting with you. Much love. Bye.